I'm Andrew Poska. Welcome to the Study-Based Study Guide. Before I explain how the study guide and my bass lessons work, I want to talk to you a little bit about why I created and set up Study-Based the way that I did. So, I've learned from my students that structure and order have a huge impact on how well you learn. So, when you learn something is just as important as what you're learning. I've organized and paced all of these lessons based on seeing hundreds of students learn them. So there's a plan. I'm not just randomly teaching you whatever I feel like teaching today. Each lesson and concept and skill, they're all building from one to the next. Well, the other thing that you're not going to see on Study-Based is you're not going to see lessons like 7 killer licks that you've got to learn today. Right? That's not what your great musicians did. Great musicians learned the foundations of music and art and then applied it to their instrument. So that's the journey that I want to take you on. I want you to learn the nuts and bolts of music through the bass. And when you have all of those pieces and you can put them together, that's where you can develop your own original voice as a musician and as a bass player. My lessons on Study-Based assume that you know next to nothing about music or the bass, and then they guide you step by step from there. So overall, the lessons are organized into curricula. Each curriculum you can think of as being a course in school or an entire book. Then inside each curriculum, you'll find lesson blocks. So a lesson block is just what it sounds like. It's a group of lessons which somehow go together. So you could think of a lesson block like a chapter in a book. Now within each lesson block, you might find 8 or 9 or more lessons. And depending on the subject of the lesson, each lesson might have some different features. Many of the lessons have exercises. The exercises will have recorded audio examples, they'll have music notation, and some fretboard diagrams. Some lessons will have a list of suggested songs to play, or at least listen to. You'll find audio links so that you can listen right there on the site, and you'll find my comments as to why that song is a great example of whatever it is we're discussing. Finally, some lessons will have an interactive quiz that tests you on the material in that lesson. If you want to keep track of where you are in the lessons, be sure to register a free user account. When you do, as you finish each lesson, you can mark it complete. And then whenever you come back to Study-Based, you click the lessons link on the menu, and you'll see at the top of the study guide where you last were and where you're supposed to go next. If there's any way that you can help support Study-Based, I really appreciate it. One way that you can support is by becoming a member. Members get a lot of extra cool features that I think make the site a lot better. You get practice sessions and you get jam track play-alongs. There's extended lesson audio. You'll have no advertising. So lots of extra benefits, and I'm adding more as I go. So anything that you can do to help out the site, I really appreciate it. Okay, now that you've learned how the study guide works and how the lessons work, you're ready for your first curriculum, Study-Based Fundamentals 1.